Speaking of Groves,
Don't embarrass me. Go.
did you guys rode down Highway 21 recently at all?
I haven't.
I've seen pictures.
Yeah, it looks like. Well, that was a while ago. Now it looks like fucking
That's Gold Mine or
Beirut. It's fucking
Old
knocked
Gen?
down. This is
That's
this
the
is Gold Mine.
yeah. I was gonna say that looks like the
Yeah,
side where
there
we
ain't
used to
nothing-
shoot dice right there with Gerardo.
That's how I learned how to
Who
play.
feel me? What I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Used to play Tonk for lunch money in that motherfucker.
Love that school, man. That
Yeah,
was
man,
a
it's
fun
crazy.
school.
Good times.
That's one of those schools like where people like who didn't go to Groves or, just didn't really know much about it. That kind of, I think it had a bad,
Rap
yeah. But
Groves
like,
in general.
yeah, but like I'm proud to have gone to Groves.
It's changed so much since we went to Groves, but I loved it, man.
Yeah, dude, and that's my shit.
They
man.
don't know
Groves
nothing
was
about
my
this
shit.
right here, player.
That was my
Straight
shit.
out of Groves.
Yes, sir.
All right, round robin. Give me your best Groves moment.
Oh God, that's tough.
I got a lot of worse. So I don't know about best.
Yeah. Groves moment, best Groves moment.
All right, just don't give me the
That's-
best. Give me a good Groves moment. Give me a
Okay.
good high school story. It's like something that sticks out in your mind as a good story from high school.
Fuck. You have one?
I got
Load it
plenty.
up. Go ahead.
I got
give me
plenty.
one.
All right, so
And I'll
first
give you-
first one off the
I
rip.
just wasn't ready.
So I had STC. My because I was an IB early on, and then they did away with the IB program altogether. Thanks a lot, Miss John. Go fuck yourself if you're listening. Yeah, Alan Goodnow got fucked the hardest out of anybody for that shit. But
I
anyways,
didn't know that happened.
yeah. So because I was an IB, we took all extra academic classes when everybody else was taking all their elective stuff. We took extra academic classes. So by the time that I was a junior, I could have graduated early junior year, but there was so many people that needed to take senior English as they would not let somebody who was not a senior into senior English. So for the second half, all of my junior year, all of my senior year, I had I went to STC and I had
Shop class.
right, I had auto mechanics.
Frills.
I remember that.
With Mr. Frills. That's
I remember
exactly
you
Where the
right.
hell's
having that
Mike
shit.
at, dude?
Right,
Get all these
so-
classes.
Right.
So by senior year, I showed up. I had I can't remember if it was right before lunch or right after lunch. We had Miss Jan for senior English.
White. Was that her name?
Jan Kelly, Miss
Kelly.
Kelly. Yeah, Miss Kelly. So I would show up to school at like 10 o'clock and leave by 2 o'clock and go. I had work release, but with Mr. McGinnis. Hey, you remember there was a lock? They would lock the parking lot. They would put a chain through the
Oh, yeah,
gate
yeah.
and a padlock on it.
You had a key.
I had a key.
Yeah.
So we had work release, and Mr. McGinnis, we had I don't even remember what the name of the class
Ahmet was with you.
That's exactly
Yeah,
right. Me,
I remember
Ahmet,
this.
and Andrew Smith.
Yeah.
There was I forget what the name of the class was, but it was like a marketing class or something like that. And Mr. McGinnis gave me, Ahmet, and Andrew Smith the key to the gate.
No, y'all had.
Hold on, hold
Okay,
on,
all
hold
right,
on. He gave us a key to the gate to go. We were gonna do, when you walked in the very front entrance, right there at the cafeteria, there was like a little poster board type thing, cork board. You could put shit up. So we were gonna do something on that board, but he didn't want anybody to rip shit down. So he wanted us to go. He gave us the key and sent us to Lowe's. You remember Andrew's truck?
Yeah.
We took Andrew's
big
truck,
ass
that big ass
motherfucking
red
truck.
truck.
Yeah.
Right.
Red truck, my red
So we
truck.
took that truck, and he gave us the key to go to Lowe's to get a 4x8 sheet of plexiglass to put over the board after we put it up, so nobody could tear the shit down. So this stupid motherfucker gave 3 high schoolers the key to the gate and sent them to a hardware shop to get something. So you know what else we got while we were at the hardware shop?
3 more keys.
47 copies of that key.
Gotcha, bitch.
So we all had
I had a key. I remember. I think Ahmet gave me a key, or
dude.
maybe
I
he gave me
I
his
remember
key,
being
or,
it. I remember it being a thing that we were going to pass the keys down.
Yeah,
I would've
And
sold
yeah.
those
Darling
motherfuckers.
got somebody's key.
I think. Yeah, I know
Darling
what you're talking
got somebody's key.
about. That's so cool.
So we all went
That is
to
so cool.
we all went to Lowe's. We got the plexiglass sheet. We got the keys made. We came back, and I don't even remember where I was fucking going with this story. But for the rest of that year, oh yeah, that's right. So I would come to school at 10 o'clock because I had my day started with auto body. or with auto mechanics. And Mr. Frills didn't take no motherfucking roll.
Right.
And God bless everybody that was in this class with me. There are so many people that I remember from this class that I have no idea where they're at in life right
Was
now.
that Matt Gerald?
Matt Gerald was in one of those classes.
Matt Madden?
Matt Madden was senior year, was in one of those classes. But like Mike was there, Jeremy was there, Caitlin was there. Like I don't even remember their last names. I just remember them from this class because they weren't, they were Gen Pop. And I had been IB my whole life, so we didn't, I only know them from this class.
If anybody watches this, tag these people in.
Absolutely, absolutely. And hey, holler. I'd like to say
holler.
what's up. I hope all's well. But we had so much fun in this class. So senior year, I think the guy's name was Andrew. We got into this little thing of lighting people on fire.
I remember this.
All right, so we would take some lighter fluid, douse somebody down, light them on fire. Bruh.
It get bad.
Hosed my man down. Hosed him down in the lighter fluid.
I remember this story.
Lit him up on fire. It didn't go out. And so the lighter fluid burns away from the surface that it's on because it's the vapors that are actually burning. So you can I'm sure you've probably seen people dip their hands in moonshine or something and light it and their fingers will be on fire and they don't feel nothing. So did that with the lighter fluid. He didn't go out. He did not go out.
I remember this.
It got caught on fire to the point where he had to Andrew, damn, I can't remember his name, put his hands through his legs and did like that to put the fire out.
And his skin came off.
Pulled 3 layers of skin off.
Bro.
I remember Matt Gerald making a fucking chlorine bomb. It took one of the 32-ounce Gatorade bottles, put some chlorine shit in it, made a chlorine bomb that you probably could have heard it from fucking Port Wentworth. This motherfucker. Kukunya!
Y'all be terrorists now.
Was it Groves that we did the dry ice bombs, or did you ever do that at all?
Pitts did it in chemistry.
Pitts. Okay,
I was in there.
Pitts did it in chemistry class.
Pitts or Blackman. Blackman was my
very
other
first
scientist
day of
in
class.
middle school.
What, in the trash can?
In the trash can. It was a ceramic trash
can.
can.
There was a ceiling tile that had a bunch of holes in it. That's where he kept on doing it because that was the top that was hitting the ceiling.
All right.
Right.
Did you have chemistry with me?
We all had the same
Probably.
class.
I think.
Did we?
Yeah,
for sure. I feel like you were definitely in the
was in
class.
it.
You sat at the back left table with fucking Roger Bird. Well, no, that wasn't Roger Bird. What was Roger's last name?
Carrie Allman was at my table.
No, Carrie wasn't at your table. Carrie was at my table.
Bullshit.
So
I was at the back.
were you at my table? Nicole Edwards was at my table.
Man, I don't remember
Lloyd
this shit.
Summers was at my table. Connie Malin was at my
Yes,
table.
yes.
And I
You
feel
were
like
at
Carrie
front
was at
right.
the table. I was at the front right. That's right.
Yeah,
you were back left
left.
with Roger.
I don't know who a motherfucker named Roger is.
Come on, man. There's no way you don't remember Roger. You remember when Pitts, he was standing with the Tesla coil, he was standing like that,
Right.
and Pitts grounded him and fucking shocked the piss out of his face?
No, I don't.
So we had this big-ass Tesla coil. Y'all know what a Tesla coil is?
Yes, man.
Yeah.
Or
All right.
I've seen it.
So Tesla coil generates the electrons all around.
Right.
So Roger's standing on a platform so you don't get grounded, you don't get shot. He's standing there.
Can I ask
Yeah.
real quick? Is Roger black or white?
White.
Okay.
Unbelievably white. Roger was on the football team. He was on the football team. I want to say he was the punter or something like that. They were like, hey, man, why don't you not come back
I know
next
who
year?
this is. I know who this is. I know who this is.
There's no way you don't remember Roger.
I know Roger.
I don't.
I don't remember. He sat at that table. He was at that table. He was beside you.
Okay.
Anyway, so Roger was standing on the little plywood platform so that he didn't get shot. And so we had these in the chemistry lab. We had these bench tops that were made out of so some kind of ceramic so that the chemicals wouldn't interact with them. There was these holes on either side of the sink, and a metal rod went in there so you could set stuff up, do titrations, shit like that on these elevated bars. Well, Pitts took one of those fucking metal bars. And Roger was standing on the platform, his hair standing up, all this, and reached up and grounded him and shocked the fucking shit out of him in his face. That was hilarious.
So a funny thing about the dry ice.
God, I'm going to struggle for Roger's name. We got to get Nick Hunter.
Burr.
Get me your fucking
Burdette?
yearbook. Roger Burdette is right.
Burdette?
That is exactly right. That is exactly
Look
right.
this motherfucker up.
Oh, damn.
That's right. That's it. That's exactly right. Yep.
So Nick's got to bring the yearbooks.
But so the dry ice bombs.
Yes. First day of class.
Yeah, and he showed us those. So I went home. My mom worked at a lab company, and they would deliver blood samples and stuff like that.
So she had access to dry
ice
reg.
all the time.
On the reg.
All the time. So I was like, dude, we've got to do this. Dad, let me show you what this. So we went in the backyard. We're making these dry ice bombs. You just put a little bit of water, some dry
That's
ice,
right.
squeeze.
That's
And
right.
we had like a little board. We put the thing behind it, ran, boom, loudest shit in the world. Like, I mean, bad. We had neighbors calling our house like, "What's going on down there?" We're just having fun, whatever. So Aaron was talking about that shit in middle school because Aaron's
Right,
5
younger.
years,
Right.
and
Damn, 5 years? That's crazy.
he was in middle school when this was happening, or maybe elementary school. I think it was middle school, and he was talking to a kid about how we made dry ice bombs. This man almost got expelled from school, kind of like situation
Aaron?
with you, yeah, for talking about making bombs. The
No
teacher
shit.
overheard the shit. And it was like, dude, this is some shit that I learned in my
Chemistry
school.
class in the
Chemistry
school.
class, and this kid's about to get expelled for making bombs. But that was a funny story. It was like,
I remember
wild
that.
how
So
happened.
Pitts was taught, and I forget what exactly what it was, but it was very educational.
Oh,
when
yeah.
he's
He
talking
always made
about,
something up.
you put the dry ice and it's condensed carbon, it's frozen to a point where now it's a solid, or carbon dioxide, and then you put it in a bottle,
Disintegrates a
you add
bottle.
this water, and and he's talking about the chemical reaction that's happening in this bottle with the water and the dry ice.
Bye.
Puts the lid on, very calmly walks over to the corner, put it in a ceramic trash can. It wasn't a metal trash can like we all
was
saw.
plastic.
Nope, it was ceramic. And
Plastic.
set it in the corner. It was by the front door, up against the whiteboards in the corner by the door with the popped up ceiling tile, and just went on about the introduction to chemistry. Didn't mention it at all. We all just thought it's over. This bottle in the corner is going to do its thing, and nobody ever thought about it again.
Remember this shit.
10 minutes later, the whole fucking thing exploded, blows the ceiling tile out, and
Right.
Well, there's holes in the ceiling tile from previous experience.
it broke the trash can. That's how I remember it was a ceramic trash can, because it broke it in two places and it slid
Damn.
apart.
Oh. I feel like I do remember that.
It broke the trash can. That's how I remember it was ceramic. Do y'all remember when Pitts, it rained one day? We were talking about magnesium pellets, and he had like this strip of magnesium tape. It was just pure magnesium metal.
Oh yeah.
And the
And how
tape.
bright it burned.
Right, we were talking about, and if you put it in water, this
Yes.
reaction goes off. And we were throwing it into puddles from the second floor of the 700 building
Right.
and just
Yes.
let it fucking blow up sparkling shit.
Right.
I remember the carbon column. I remember you remember when we found out the rocket fuel? I
Yes.
still remember the ratio.
Yes.
You remember what it was?
No.
It was 2-to-1.
You're such a nerd, dude.
I was gonna say 3-1.
Sugar to something. Something carbonate. Sugar and something carbonate. But if you had a 2-to-1 ratio, it was like the perfect one. We went through this whole stoichiometry bullshit to come up with the right thing. And he was talking about how at like an open house one night he knocked himself out. You remember this?
Yes.
He was talking about how he did it.
Yes.
Yeah, and he lit. No, that was the nitrogen titration where he did like pure oxygen out of something, and he did a gallon.
Yeah.
No. He did a gallon's worth. So we did this small thing where we had like Coke bottles or something. We did this chemical reaction and we isolated pure oxygen, and then we lit the top of the bottles, and it was like,
Yeah.
and it was just. He said he did it. It was like an open house with parents, and he was, explaining all this thing, and he did it with a gallon milk jug, and it was so much that when he lit it, it was an explosion, and the explosion was enough to knock him out.
I thought it burned his eyebrows off.
I'm sure it did that too.
Damn, Mike. Good memory on this guy.
I just
He loved that class.
I
Speaking of
remember
that same
everything.
exact classroom, I did something stupid. It was my senior year. It was the next year. You guys weren't in this science class. It was me and Connie Malin and Nicole Edwards were at this table. And I was mad about something. I don't remember what it was. And you had the faucet handles went up and made like an L.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
a bow.
yeah.
And so they were like, you better not pull on that thing any harder. You'll break it off. I said, I ain't going to break it off. And I pulled it real
fucking
fast.
water shooting
And
straight up
I
into the ceiling.
broke the metal and the water shot straight up. They had to shut the fucking water main off at the school. I was so like, how the hell did I just do that? And it was like after about 5 minutes, it was funny.
That's a Taylor move.
Oh, it sure as fuck
That's a
is, dude.
Taylor move.
Taylor don't understand that piping.
Oh, fucking-
Chocolate and vanilla.
oh, that's funny.
I get swirled.